preserved of Norway. And on that place there were originally 3 of the churches all built during the late Viking age, during the 11th century. But builders of the last churches did mistakes when they built it. They put the wood in contact with the ground, and the churches had all rotted. So they had to destroy the church a few times and rebuild it. And the church here is the 4th one. It's from the 12th century, from the year 1130, and it was put on stone foundation.
Sorry?
We call that kind of church Stave Church because of the pillars. In Norwegian, the word in Norwegian for that kind of pillar is a stave, a stav, or stavar in plural. It is a very old method of construction in Scandinavia because even during the Viking period we found some examples of building foundation, which was pagan temples, and they were already staves holes inside. That kind of church, there were many churches like this during the medieval period, approximately 1,000, but it still remained only 28 stave churches in Norway. There were some catastrophes during history. The first of them was the Black Plague in the 40th century, when most of the Norwegian population died, so there wasn't enough people to maintain churches. Secondly, there were the Reformation time. Because of struggles between Catholic and Protestant, some stave churches was burnt because they were Catholic. And during the 19th century, there was a law in Norway which said that each church which couldn't accept more than a third of a community should be destroyed. Communities which had enough money to build a new church and maintain their medieval church could do this, but it wasn't the case for most of Norwegian communities, and most of the remaining medieval churches during the 19th century was destroyed. And during that time, the association Fortidsminnesforeninga, which owned the church, was created and could save it. So, about the architecture of the church, we have a big influence of Roman construction because builders of the church took inspiration on stone churches from Western Europe. On the capitals, we can see beasts taken from the Western medieval imagery. Most of them are motifs from either the Bibles or from the Greco-Roman mythology. We can see lion, dragon, priests. We can have a typical Norwegian motif here, which could be the first depiction of the weapons of the country, which is the lion holding the axe of Santula. We have here a candelabrum from the 12th century. There is in the core bishop chair from that period, and another candelabrum here from that period also. And the crucifix here is one of the oldest still preserved made in wood in Europe. It was dated between the years 1150 and the year 12. On the skirt of Jesus Christ, we can see a blue color, which was lapis lazuli, a pigment from Afghanistan, and it was hardly expensive during the medieval period. To exhibit some rich pigment was a good manner to show the wealth either of the man who ordered the church or the wealth of the bishopdom. About benches, it was added after the Reformation period because we used to stand up doing the Mass in the medieval time. On the left corner, there were women, and on the right corner, it was for men. We have two boxes on the right and left corner. It was private benches for powerful families of the region. And the last box here was the delimited space for baptisms. Originally, the church ended at the level of the two pillars. It was concluded by maybe an apside. And after the Reformation period, the back room was added during the beginning of the 17th century. And the painting on the wall are from that period. It represents the fellowships of Jesus Christ. The pupil here was added at the end of the 17th century, and we can see some letters. It is the names of men who gave many money to the church at that time. Over there, we have a gallery which was added during the 8th century. It is an access to the bell tower. And nowadays, the church is still used for religious ceremonies like confirmation, weddings, and there is also funerals for locals in the cemetery. But the most usual religious ceremonies happen in the other side of the fjord because it's, first of all now, an historical monument. You are free to ask for more questions if you want.